The scorching landscape of Kelvin 9 stretched endlessly, a wasteland of molten rock and impossible heat. J. Park stood at the research station's primary observation deck, his eyes scanning the horizon with a calm that seemed almost supernatural. Temperature readings flickered at 312 degrees Celsius, a number that would have meant certain death for any known biological organism in the galaxy. Inside the research station, a network of advanced thermal regulation systems hummed quietly. Every surface was designed to withstand extreme conditions, every piece of equipment engineered to function where nothing should survive. Jay watched the external monitors, his fingers moving smoothly across holographic interfaces. Elena Kim walked into the control room, her thermal suit moving like a second skin. "Incoming transmission," she announced, her voice steady. The communication array picked up a strange signal. Not human, not from their known research networks. The first alien reconnaissance ship appeared on the long-range scanners. Its sleek design contrasted sharply with the brutal environment of Kelvin 9. Kiro Tanaka, the lead alien investigator, couldn't believe the sensor readings. Biological signatures showed active human presence in an environment that should have vaporized any living creature within seconds. "This is impossible," Kiro muttered to his co-pilot, a reptilian species known for their advanced scanning technology. The ship's sensors confirmed what seemed unbelievable. Not only were humans present, but they were actively working, moving, conducting scientific research. The research station looked like a metallic island in a sea of molten rock. Its protective shields shimmered subtly, creating a microclimate that allowed human survival. Hyun Lee, the station's primary engineer, continued calibrating equipment as if nothing unusual was happening. A small drone moved outside, collecting geological samples from surfaces that would melt standard machinery within milliseconds. Kiro's ship descended closer, its advanced scanning equipment probing every millimeter of the human installation. The aliens had encountered numerous species across the galaxy, but nothing prepared them for this level of environmental adaptation. Humans were supposed to be a relatively young species, confined to a single planetary system. Yet here they were, operating in conditions that would destroy most advanced civilizations. Inside the research station, J. Park noticed the alien ship. He didn't panic. He didn't even seem particularly surprised. Instead, he adjusted a few settings on his control panel and continued monitoring the ongoing experiments. The station's systems were designed to handle unexpected visitors, whether they came from Earth or distant star systems. Elena watched the alien ship with professional curiosity. Her hands moved across additional control interfaces, ensuring that their defensive systems were ready but not overtly aggressive. They were scientists, after all, not military personnel. Their goal was understanding, not conflict. The alien ship hovering above Kelvin 9 represented the Galactic Council's most advanced reconnaissance technology. Its sensors could detect microscopic changes in environmental conditions, track biological signatures with unprecedented precision, and analyze complex scientific data streams. Yet these same advanced systems were struggling to comprehend what they were witnessing. Hyun Lee stepped closer to the main observation window. "They're scanning us," he said casually, as if discussing the weather. His thermal suit adjusted, automatically to a slight temperature fluctuation, a testament to the advanced technology humans had developed. Kiro Tanaka's confusion grew with each passing moment. The human research station wasn't just surviving in these extreme conditions, it was thriving. Multiple research projects seemed to be running simultaneously. External drones collected samples, internal laboratories processed data, and the entire installation operated with a level of efficiency that defied everything the aliens understood about biological limitations. As the alien ship continued its reconnaissance, the humans remained calm. No panic, no dramatic reactions, just continued scientific work in an environment that should have been impossible to inhabit. This was humanity's first true moment of galactic introduction, not through diplomatic channels or military displays, but through pure scientific determination and technological innovation. On Kelvin 9, humans were showing the universe something fundamental about their species. Where others saw impossible challenges, humans saw opportunities for exploration and understanding. The observation was simple yet profound. Humans did not just survive. They conquered. The alien research team arrived precisely 3 standard galactic cycles after their initial reconnaissance. Their ship landed with calculated precision near the human research station on Kelvin 9, its metallic surface reflecting the intense heat of the surrounding landscape. Kiro Tanaka led the investigation team, his specialized scanning equipment, designed to analyze the most complex biological and technological systems in the known universe. Yet, nothing in his extensive training could have prepared him for what he was about to discover. The first surprise came during the initial approach. Standard protective gear used by most galactic species would have been completely ineffective in this environment. The humans, however, moved about with an ease that seemed almost casual. Their thermal suits looked deceptively simple, thin, almost like a second skin, but radiating a complex technological aura that intrigued the alien researchers. Elena Kim greeted the research team with professional courtesy. She understood the magnitude of this moment, the first detailed scientific investigation of human thermal adaptation technology. Behind her, the research station continued its work, seemingly unaffected by the arrival of extraterrestrial scientists. Hyun Lee brought out the first set of research logs. The documentation was meticulous, showing years of careful development of thermal resistance technologies. Each page revealed layers of scientific breakthrough that left the alien researchers stunned. The humans had not just created a survival mechanism, they had developed a complete biological and technological ecosystem designed to function in extreme conditions. The nanothermal regulation suits were the first major point of investigation. Unlike traditional protective gear, these suits weren't just external shields. They worked at a molecular level, integrating with human biological systems to create a dynamic temperature management mechanism. Sensors in the suit could predict and adjust to temperature changes in microseconds, creating a perfect protective environment. Genetic modifications added another layer of complexity. The humans had carefully engineered specific genetic markers that enhanced their natural heat resistance. Blood samples showed extraordinary cellular adaptations, proteins that could stabilize under extreme temperatures, enhanced mitochondrial functions that could process heat as an energy source rather than a destructive force. Kira watched as J. Park demonstrated some of their research equipment. A small drone collected geological samples from an area with surface temperatures exceeding 350 degrees Celsius. The equipment moved smoothly, its advanced sensors collecting data without any signs of mechanical stress. "How do you manage continuous operation?" Kiro asked, his curiosity overriding his professional detachment. Jay smiled slightly. "We don't just protect against heat. We use it as a resource." The alien researchers discovered that the human technology went beyond simple protection. Their systems were designed to convert extreme environmental conditions into usable energy. Heat wasn't just something to be avoided. It was a potential power source. The research station itself was a marvel of engineering. Multiple layers of thermal regulation created microenvironments that allowed complex scientific work to continue. External shields could adjust their molecular structure to deflect extreme temperatures, while internal systems maintained perfect working conditions. What truly stunned the alien research team was the humans' approach. This wasn't just about survival. It was about understanding, adapting, and ultimately transforming seemingly impossible environmental challenges into opportunities for scientific exploration. Genetic samples revealed something even more remarkable. The humans weren't just using external technology. Their bodies were slowly adapting, with each generation showing increased thermal resistance. It was evolution in real time, driven by technological innovation and scientific determination. Hyun demonstrated a particularly fascinating piece of equipment, a thermal energy converter that could transform the extreme heat of Kelvin 9 into stable power sources. What would destroy most technological systems was being used as a primary energy generation method. As the investigation continued, The alien researchers realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. This was a fundamental reimagining of how a species could interact with extreme environmental conditions. The humans of Kelvin 9 weren't just surviving. They were rewriting the rules of biological and technological adaptation. By the end of the investigation, Kiro Tanaka understood that everything the Galactic Council knew about environmental limitations would need to be reconsidered. Humanity had just changed the game. The alien observers watched carefully, trying to understand the humans' remarkable approach to their extreme environment. What they saw went far beyond technological adaptation. It was a profound psychological resilience that defied all previous galactic understanding. J. Park walked across the research station's main laboratory, checking equipment as if the surrounding temperature of 320 degrees Celsius was nothing more than a mild summer day. His movements were calculated, precise, and completely relaxed. Near him, Elena Kim was conducting complex geological experiments, her concentration unbroken by the extreme conditions. Most species would have considered this environment a challenge to survive. The humans treated it like a workplace. A young researcher named Minho demonstrated this psychological approach most clearly. During a routine equipment maintenance cycle, a minor system failure occurred that would have caused panic in most research teams. Minho simply analyzed the problem, developed a solution, and implemented it within minutes, his heart rate barely changing. The alien research team, led by Kiro Tanaka, began documenting these psychological patterns. It wasn't just about individual resilience, it was a collective mindset. Each human team member approached challenges as opportunities, not obstacles. Yun Li explained it simply during one of their interviews. "We don't see problems," he said. "We see puzzles waiting to be solved." This fundamental attitude was something the alien researchers found difficult to comprehend. Psychological tests revealed extraordinary mental adaptations, where most species would experience stress and potential mental breakdown in such extreme conditions. The human team showed remarkable emotional stability. Their training went beyond technical skills. It included advanced psychological conditioning that allowed them to maintain focus and calm under what would be considered impossible conditions. The research station became a living laboratory of human psychological adaptation. Daily routines continued with clockwork precision. Scientific experiments, equipment maintenance, personal interactions, everything happened with a level of professionalism that seemed almost superhuman. During one observation period, an external thermal storm hit the planet. Temperatures spiked to near-critical levels. While most species would have immediately sought shelter or initiated emergency protocols, the human team continued their work with minimal adjustments. J. Park even made a joke during the most intense moment of the thermal surge, demonstrating that psychological comfort was as much a survival tool as their advanced technology. The alien researchers discovered something profound. For these humans, extreme conditions were not a threat. They were a challenge to be understood, managed, and ultimately mastered. Communication patterns were equally fascinating. Team members supported each other with a combination of professional respect and genuine human connection. Stress was managed through collaborative problem-solving, not individual panic. When challenges arose, the team's first response was always analytical and cooperative. Kiro Tanaka noted in his research logs that human psychological resilience seemed to be a combination of several key factors: extensive training, a cultural approach that valued problem-solving, individual mental strength, and a collective support system that transformed potential stress into productive energy. The most surprising element was how the humans viewed their environment. Where other species might see Kelvin 9 as a hostile, uninhabitable planet, these researchers saw it as an exciting scientific frontier. Their psychological approach transformed extreme conditions from a threat into an opportunity for discovery. During one evening briefing, Elena Kim discussed their long-term research goals. Her presentation wasn't filled with fear or uncertainty about the challenging environment. Instead, she spoke with excitement about the potential scientific discoveries waiting to be made. Her passion was genuine, her approach methodical. The alien team realized they were witnessing something more than technological adaptation. This was a fundamental different way of experiencing and interacting with environmental challenges. Humans didn't just survive extreme conditions, they seemed to thrive in them. Psychological resilience, they discovered, was not just about individual mental strength. It was about a collective approach that transformed challenges into opportunities, saw problems as puzzles, and maintained a constant state of curiosity and determination. As the observation period continued, the alien researchers began to understand that human success wasn't just about advanced technology. It was about a mindset that refused to be limited by conventional understanding of what was possible. The humans of Kelvin 9 were rewriting the rules of psychological adaptation, one scientific discovery at a time. The Galactic Council chamber buzzed with tension when the first reports from Kelvin 9 arrived. Representatives from 17 different star systems listened carefully as Kiro Tanaka presented the comprehensive research about human thermal adaptation technologies. Jay Park stood quietly in the presentation hall, his calm demeanor contrasting with the growing excitement and anxiety among the alien delegates. Behind him, detailed holographic projections showed their research station's remarkable capabilities of surviving and thriving in extreme heat conditions. These humans have developed more than just survival technology, Cairo explained. They've created a complete environmental transformation system. His presentation revealed how human technologies could potentially revolutionize planetary exploration and colonization strategies across the galaxy. The strategic implications were profound. Planets previously considered uninhabitable could now be potential research and settlement locations. Regions with extreme thermal conditions that were once deemed impossible for biological life suddenly became accessible. Senior Council member Arya from the Centauri Confederation leaned forward. Their thermal conversion technologies could solve multiple planetary settlement challenges, she observed. The implications were clear. Humans had developed something far beyond simple protective gear. Elena Kim's research logs demonstrated how their thermal systems could convert extreme heat into usable energy. A single research station could potentially generate power equivalent to entire industrial complexes on more temperate planets. This wasn't just adaptation. It was a complete reimagining of environmental interaction. Hyun Lee had prepared technical documentation showing how their nanothermal regulation systems could be adapted for various planetary conditions. The modular design meant these technologies could be quickly modified for different environmental challenges, not just extreme heat. The military strategists in the council were particularly interested. Planetary exploration had always been limited by environmental constraints. Human technology suggested a future where no environment was truly uninhabitable. Harsh desert worlds, volcanic planets, regions near unstable stars, all could potentially become accessible. During the break, diplomatic discussions became intense. Some council members saw humans as potential strategic partners. Others viewed them with a mixture of respect and subtle fear. A species that could transform extreme conditions so efficiently represented both an incredible opportunity and a potential competitive threat. Jay Park observed these discussions with professional detachment. He understood the larger implications of their research but remained focused on scientific objectives. His team wasn't interested in political maneuvering. They were dedicated to expanding human understanding of environmental adaptation. The economic potential was equally staggering. Planetary resource extraction, long limited by environmental challenges, could be revolutionized. Minerals and resources in extreme conditions could now be accessed more efficiently. Mining corporations across the galaxy began showing intense interest in human thermal adaptation technologies. Research teams from multiple star systems requested collaboration opportunities. The humans' approach wasn't about selling technology. It was about shared scientific discovery. This collaborative attitude further increased their strategic value in the galactic community. Technological transfer discussions became complex. How much of this revolutionary technology would humans be willing to share? The careful balance between scientific openness and strategic protection became a critical negotiation point. Kiro Tanaka's final presentation slide contained a simple statement that captured the essence of human potential. Limitations are just undiscovered opportunities. This philosophical approach, combined with their remarkable technological achievements, left the Galactic Council both impressed and slightly unnerved. The strategic meeting concluded with a unanimous decision. Humans would be invited to join advanced technological councils. Their unique approach to environmental adaptation had transformed them from a relatively unknown species to a potential key player in galactic scientific and strategic developments. As the delegates discussed potential collaboration frameworks, J. Park remained focused on future research possibilities. For him and his team, this wasn't about political recognition or strategic advantages. It was about continuing to push the boundaries of scientific understanding. The humans of Kelvin 9 had done more than survive in an impossible environment. They had demonstrated that with the right combination of technology, psychological resilience, and scientific curiosity, no challenge was truly insurmountable. The galaxy was about to change, and humans would be at the forefront of that transformation. 5 years after the initial discovery on Kelvin 9, the human research team had become legendary across the galactic scientific community. What began as a small research station had transformed into a symbol of human potential and technological innovation. J. Park stood before the United Galactic Scientific Council, presenting their latest breakthrough. Behind him, holographic displays showed multiple planetary environments that humans had now successfully explored and mapped. Planets that were once considered completely uninhabitable now featured research outposts, mining facilities, and potential future settlements. The transformation wasn't just technological, it was philosophical. Alien species that once viewed humans as a minor, emerging civilization now sought their collaboration. The thermal adaptation technologies developed on Kelvin 9 had become the standard for extreme environment exploration. Research teams from 17 different star systems now used human-developed equipment and adaptation strategies. Elena Kim watched the presentation with quiet pride. Their team had done more than create advanced technology. They had fundamentally changed how the galaxy understood environmental limitations. The economic impact was enormous. Planetary resource extraction had become dramatically more efficient. Regions previously considered too hostile for exploration now represented significant economic opportunities. Mining corporations, research institutions, and exploration teams competed for human-developed technologies. Hyun Lee demonstrated a new thermal regulation suit during the council meeting. It was lighter, more adaptable, and could function in environments ranging from extreme heat to near absolute zero temperatures. The suit represented years of careful research and technological innovation. "We don't just survive," Jay explained to the assembled representatives. "We understand, we adapt, we transform." Those words became a motto for human scientific approach. Where other species saw challenges, humans saw opportunities for discovery and growth. The psychological impact was equally significant. Alien training programs began incorporating human adaptation strategies. Mental resilience, problem-solving approaches, and a fundamental belief that no environment was truly impossible became standard in scientific and exploration training. Kiro Tanaka, who had first discovered the Kelvin 9 research station, now served as a primary liaison between human research teams and the Galactic Scientific Council. His initial confusion had transformed into deep respect and professional admiration. The research from Kelvin 9 had broader implications beyond technological development. It represented a new approach to understanding environmental interaction. Humans weren't just trying to survive in extreme conditions, they were learning to thrive, to understand, to grow. Diplomatic relationships shifted. Where humans were once seen as a minor species, they were now recognized as critical strategic partners. Their approach to scientific exploration suggested potential solutions to challenges facing multiple galactic civilizations. During a critical moment in the presentation, Jay casually demonstrated the thermal suit's capabilities by drinking a superheated liquid that would have instantly vaporized most biological organisms. The alien delegates watched in stunned silence. The transformation wasn't just about technology. It was about a fundamental shift in understanding what was possible. Research teams from multiple star systems now sought human collaboration. Universities developed entire departments focused on studying human adaptation strategies. What was once considered impossible was now seen as an exciting frontier of scientific exploration. Economic models changed. Planetary exploration became more accessible. Resources in extreme environments could now be effectively studied and potentially extracted. The entire concept of habitable environments was being redefined. Environmental scientists discovered that human technologies could help address planetary climate challenges. Techniques developed for extreme heat adaptation showed potential for managing complex environmental transformations. The final slide of Jay's presentation contained a simple image: the original Kelvin 9 research station, surrounded by the harsh, molten landscape. Beside it stood the current research complex, a testament to human determination and scientific innovation. As the presentation concluded, the assembled representatives understood something profound. This wasn't just a technological breakthrough. This was a paradigm transformation. Humans had shown the galaxy that limitations were nothing more than undiscovered opportunities. Where others saw impossible challenges, humans saw potential for growth, understanding, and remarkable discovery.